I ended up getting 30 different interviews and 6 offers. If I was to actually do it by myself, applying to these many jobs, fatigue that sets in pretty quickly. Like you might start with the momentum where you are applying for maybe 20, 30 roles in a week. And then eventually you end up being like, okay, I'm getting a bunch of rejections that are automated. It goes to like 5 a week. It goes basically nowhere. The type of responses that I was getting, whether that was an organic reach out on LinkedIn, and there was a decent amount of it happening on LinkedIn, and to the ones I was applying to was mostly around that mid-level, just getting to a people management layer kind of role, which would have been a step back, I think, a little bit. Overall, it was better than good, I would say. Like it was pretty great. And I mean, my initial resume, it looked like a general tech resume template. Didn't even reflect that it was a exec or a senior leader resume. I have thought about this so many times. It is such a useful service, but I don't know why there is a negative connotation to attach to this.
The following is a conversation with our customer Raj Bawa. We landed him 6 offers as a senior director of data science in the last 5 months, including companies like Coca-Cola, CarMax, Empower, Checkmate, Corpay, and HCSC, along with landing interviews at 30 other companies. He ended up taking the Checkmate offer as a head of data science because the pay and the role aligned strongly with him for that one. And when he had approached us for our services, he had quit his job because of unexpected turmoil at his previous company, but he didn't want to land any role in a rush. He wanted to land the right role. So our services made sense to him because we offer guaranteed placement, and our guarantee simply means that we will land you an offer that you accept, not just any offer. So even if it meant landing him 6 offers. So without further ado, let's crack right into it. I'm Raj. I've been in data AI ML space for close to 10 years. And on the most recent role, I was a VP of data science at a mid-sized company. I joined Wolf Mentoring in November of 25 after I left my last role in end of September, early October. And in this process, I ended up getting 30 different interviews and ended up getting 6 offers through this process. I think the problem for me was more around the level of the roles and the type of the roles I wanted to get calls from. We ended up applying for a couple of senior manager roles in the process, which is fine. But that's the kind of reach out I was getting, right? Like I was coming from a senior level role, and the type of responses that I was getting, whether that was an organic reach out on LinkedIn, and there was a decent amount of it happening on LinkedIn, and to the ones I was applying to was mostly around that mid-level, just getting to a people management layer kind of role, which would have been a step back, I think, a little bit for me if I would have gone that route by myself, for example. And of course, I mean, the volume was way low compared to what I got from Wolf Mentoring, for example. If I was to actually do it by myself, there is just applying to these many jobs, fatigue that sets in pretty quickly. Like you might start with the momentum where you are applying for maybe 20, 30 roles in a week. And then eventually you end up being like, okay, I'm getting a bunch of rejections that are automated. It goes to like 5 a week. It goes basically nowhere. As a rookie, you think that you want to convert every single opportunity that comes down the pike and that you are hearing from, especially the initial ones, because you get excited, like, oh, I'm starting to get some responses. Let's convert these. But I mean, we had talked about it even in our early stages as well, that half of these companies were not even relevant to my background. And if I would have ended up in those roles, I probably wasn't even set up for success. It felt bad initially to get those rejections, but I mean, I think I'm glad that I went through that whole process.
Let's talk about what your doubts were prior to, joining our services.
Prior to joining, I mean, I had not seen anything like this even existed before. I didn't even know how effective it was going to be. There were initial doubts, as one would have, that, okay, is this even real? Is this effective? I looked through testimonials and stuff. So there was that.
And I would love to hear your honest feedback about it, about the whole process, be it good or bad.
Overall, it was better than good, I would say. Like it was pretty great. I've mentioned it to you and I'll mention it again. Like I thank you guys enough that I first of all found you, and how streamlined everything was, how process oriented everything was, and how helpful all of you were in getting the job applications going, and guiding me throughout the process and having touch bases along the way. Yeah, that wasn't the case here. The momentum was always there. Even when the responses were slow, which was like understandable because it was November, December month, for example, as well. The good thing was that I was having constant touch bases with you or with Varun. Yeah, having touch bases with multiple different people. So there was always like something happening on my calendar. So it's not like I'm just sitting around waiting for someone to call or email me that, okay, my application is moving to the next step. So that was nice, that the momentum was always there. And yeah, the level of involvement, like I could delegate a lot of the tasks that I didn't have to worry about, whether it was resume, you were building the resume and we had an initial discovery calls. So we went into detail. So my resume reflected the reality of those things and you embellished it even further, which was great. And I mean, my initial resume, it looked like a general tech resume template. Didn't even reflect that it was a exec or a senior leader resume. So there was also that aspect to it as well, right? I have thought about this so many times. It is such a useful service, but I don't know why there is a negative connotation to attach to this. Like I won't say like it's a negative, but it feels negative in a way that why is someone else applying on your behalf? I am the one who's interviewing for it. So it's not like someone else is interviewing for the role. It's still me, but I still feel negative when someone reached out, for example, was like, oh, are you using a service or something for this? Like, why is that not a thing? I don't know, maybe because this is a new thing. That's the reason, or people frown upon this in general. So that could be it.
Right. But who knows? As long as it's delivering the results, I would say
Definitely
everything's
delivering
going great.
the process works, right? Like process definitely works.
Sweet. Now, again, it was awesome working with you, Raj. I do hope that we get an opportunity to work together in the future. As much as I want your next role to last, I sincerely wish that
I hope
we
so.
get to
I
work
mean, I
once
hope you
again
guys
in
are
the
in the
future.
business of doing this like for a long time. I was thinking about it. I was
Oh,
like,
of
okay, this is
course.
like startup idea. It changes the game completely in terms of how you go about job searching. I mean, it's almost to the point where, I mean, it felt like after I accepted Dominion and had like a few other offers, like Corpay was there, for example. I was like, okay, that could be the end of it, but let's keep going, right? And then, I mean, even now, part of me was like, before like I made a decision, like, no, this is it. I was like, okay, we could keep going. Like, why not? Like, there might be something better. And there is an
Well,
option for
like,
it. Like you guys give an option for it. So 100%. I hope we get to work again. Thank you
perfect.
so much, Ansh.
We'll take it
Yeah.
from there. Have a nice one, Raj.
You too. Bye.
Bye bye. Take care.